Yumi Nu. You guys know that name?
Yumi Nu?
Yumi Nu.
I thought you were saying a sentence.
Wow, that's racist.
Before.
Is she the new Asian chick on Sports Illustrated?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's the first Asian American.
Oh, she's the thick girl, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought she was the one on the TV show that was popular, The Games.
Squid Games.
Squid Games. Oh.
No, on Sports Illustrated.
Yeah. She's the first Asian American swimsuit cover model for.
This has been going around because people are like, oh, she fat. Why is she on there?
Yeah, people are just kind of like, some people are pretty pissed because she's like a plus size model.
Oh, she's pretty.
Dude, yeah, she's gorgeous. Look at her.
Yeah.
I think she's like
Did you say she from Irvine?
Japanese and something like
She's Japanese and
German or whatever. I don't know.
She's a black guy's dream come true. You know what I mean? Like, oh, damn, China thick over there. China thick. Oh, China thick.
what do you think this has to do with Jordan Peterson?
Because he probably was talking some shit about it. Was he talking some shit?
He said she was not beautiful. And he saw this as another progressive tactic to, like, you know, change the idea of beauty.
If that's not beautiful, then what kind of chicks is he hooking up with? I want to see those chicks. Damn.
He has some like dope things to say sometimes, but then when he talks about like
That's not one of them.
Top 3.
when he talks about this kind of stuff, I'm just like
Don't chime in on that one.
That's
bro,
what
it's
he's
like, this is not your place to say.
You have the exact quote?
Who's Jordan Peterson?
He's like
Psychologist, right? Like
Yeah.
a professor of psychology. And I think the public views him as more like right-leaning or
Yeah.
conservative, even though he's not really political, I don't think. But just his views are more like own your shit type of thing, and like we need to get society back on track. But because it's more away from like the more liberal, where like, oh, we gotta help each other out. He seems more that way, but I think he's technically apolitical.
and he's very
He claims to be a classic liberal. He says that he's liberal, but the spectrum went so left that they throw him in the right now.
he usually goes against a lot of like far progressive left stuff. Like he combats it pretty hard.
Yeah. So he says, this is his tweet. Sorry, not beautiful, and no amount of authoritarian tolerance is going to change that.
Even that picture he posted is really pretty of her. Yeah. She's like doing a West Side
Well,
Story.
like, if it's not your type, it's not your type.
Exactly, like that's a wild take.
That's very subjective.
Right.
Exactly.
But I think it's just the fact that she's like a plus size and it's not like, you know, conventionally healthy looking.
I think it's like this whole movement right now where like Victoria's Secret was forced to do plus size models and like
They don't want to say they were forced, but yeah.
They were persuaded.
that's basically what's happening, right? Is like you can't have a look anymore, or like it's got to be like, all right, you gotta have the plus size girls, you gotta have whatever. And then I'm all for like, yo, man, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
But then there's the other side of it too, where it's kind of like the king with the invisible clothing. Everyone's just like propping them up, like, oh, you're so hot, you're so hot. But I don't really know, right? Like statistics wise, like how many men find overweight women attractive? Like there are chubby chasers and it exists.
She's not even overweight though.
But like
Right?
I'm not talking about her exactly. I'm just talking about the whole
argument, right? Like
it's happening right now where like people are like just kind of like saying like, oh, this you know, even like putting obese women on a fit things and saying that's healthy.
yeah, something that's even new too. If you go to like Nike.com, they have plus size models for both guys and girls now, which that wasn't a thing back in like 2017 or something.
But my question though is, okay, she's a little thicker than I expected. But she's still beautiful.
Yeah.
But does she play sports to be on this cover?
No, she's
The Sports Illustrated models are never into sports.
Really?
what? They're just hot.
So notoriously for Sports Illustrated, they're like high-end swimsuit models that they get on the cover of Sports
She doesn't even
Illustrated.
play ping pong or anything?
No, none of them are like.
Because when you think Sports Illustrated, you think they're athletes. Of
It
something.
never had nothing to do with that.
Because a lot of times they do put athletes on there too, though, right?
They have them. They have them. But the traditional, when you think of like the really famous ones, I think I don't know if Heidi Klum was one of them, but there's like there's like a whole.
I've heard that name in so
There's like a category of the Sports Illustrated models. Those ones aren't professional athletes, but they do have ones that are also beautiful. Like let's say someone that plays soccer, and they'll get her like to pose like in a tasteful
soccer ball?
Yeah, like a tasteful, sexy way or whatever.
Nude. One tasteful.
One thing
but naked.
Does Sports Illustrated do like the nude edition where they get like male and female athletes?
Yeah, you have
and they make them all
to
naked?
admire like the athletic body or whatever.
I think like beauty is subjective, right? It just depends on culture and what you find attractive and whatever.
Yeah.
But I think like what I don't like with this whole movement is they're kind of enabling obesity, and they're saying that's okay and that's healthy and all that. And I'm like, is it though? Because each end of the spectrum is very unhealthy. Like whether you're too skinny, like a supermodel that never fucking eats or whatever, and then if you're too big, that you get. I mean, I'm not even like big, but when I gain weight, like I get sleep apnea, I get health problems, and like I'm just like, damn, dude, that's a fucking definite road to diabetes and all that shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but they're starting to make that look like, oh, that's cool, that's healthy, that's fit, but it's not. And I think that's different from calling someone beautiful. That's fine, because like you just don't know, like depending on culture, there's just different style, different taste, right? So that's different. I think beauty, because even like attractiveness is different, right? Because it's also subjective. And then like, but there used to be an epitome, like the epitome of what a physical fit, like best female, beautiful female, they used to look at it like, oh, these models. It was only that. And I'm like, I get that they're changing it now to like, okay, if you want to be the definition of beautiful, you have different options.
Sure.
But that's different from healthy.
Yeah, I think health
Two
is
separate
different.
things,
That's a different talk.
I agree with that, but I do like how, when, like you were saying, like these sites have like plus size, like, because like I'm a bigger dude, so like now I get to see people wearing it. I'm like, oh, that's more like what it's gonna fit like me, not some really thin guy that I'm like, that's obviously not gonna look like that when I wear that.
And also too is like you could be healthy at any size.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like you could be a bigger dude, a bigger woman, and as long as you exercise pretty regularly and you eat
You could
pretty
be
fine.
You could be buff and unhealthy.
Yeah, and
Yeah, a
exactly.
lot.
Like you could
Like
still
Bart.
be healthy, right? You could still be relatively healthy.
Allergies,
But
man.
then at that point, then it's like a body fat thing. That's like for a lot of people they say like, oh, you're fat, but it's like that's a body fat issue rather than a health issue. Those are separate things, and we need to make the distinguishing factor.
Because the definition of health is not.
It's very different. It's very like broad. Like and everyone's metrics of health is always changing.
That's true.
Right? And like depending on who you talk to, this is healthy, this is unhealthy.
One thing that I really didn't like and I couldn't get behind was the responses to Jordan Peterson about like people saying, "How dare you?" Like, how dare men judge women for beauty? She's on the fucking cover of Sports Illustrated. What are you supposed to do? Like,
How dare you?
For me, I'm like, I think she's beautiful, right?
yeah.
But I also respect free speech. So I'm like, if Jordan doesn't think she's beautiful, he also has every right to say whatever the hell he wants. You know?
It's a back and forth because people will talk shit to him.
Yeah,
It's just
You're
everyone-
missing out, man. This is.
Yeah.
Or for the rest of us that like that kind of stuff.
Here's also what I think is a problem that no one's talking about. Whether it's plus size or minus size, all models, they all have really pretty faces, and I think that's facist.
Oh, that's extremely
Yeah.
facist.
What about people with bad faces? Why aren't
What
they
about
in the
people
covers?
with unsymmetrical faces?
Look at her gorgeous, perfect face.
And her nice nose and stuff. Yeah.
Fair, man.
Yeah.
Perfect
Yeah.
jawline and stuff.
I spoke with somebody, and there was a doctor that would assess your face, and he would fix your face to make it so that you're more likable. He broke down scientifically features on a face
Shit.
that make you more likable to other people.
What is it?
Oh, just,
Symmetry, right?
yeah, symmetry. Your nose, your eyebrow shelf thingy-majiggers, your cheekbones, your jaw. He
Oh,
could
probably
adjust
bigger eyes too.
everything.
Because they said dog.
Oh, I'm good then. player.
Make your most likable face right now.
I did.
No, because they even said dogs have evolved by being like the human's companion to have more baby-shaped eyes because they're more expressive. So if you look at a wolf, like it's more beady, it's small, and then the dogs now they're like big, like almost like a deer, like Bambi.
Wait, so the beadier the eyes, the badder they are. Yeah. Very bad.
They're more primitive, yeah.
Some groups would like this theory. I think all people are bad if their eyes look like this.
I just feel like we're so past like getting mad at people for, or getting mad at men for judging women on a cover like this. It's like, if you said, "Oh, she's freaking hot," everyone goes, "Yeah." But if you said, "I don't think so," don't judge women. It's
But it's both judging.
really yeah, it's judging either way. Whether
Saying someone's hot or not is still judging.
whether it's a blue ribbon first place prize, the whole idea is kind of messed up.
It seems like he's making it about the progressive stuff, right? Like,
Right.
Which is like, okay, just say that then.
Yeah, right.
You know, lead with that instead of being like, not pretty or whatever. Like, that's just rude, bro. He's just being a dick. Yeah, he's just being a dick, and I think that's where the clapback comes from.
Right.
Because like I listen to Jordan Peterson every now and then, and I like some of the stuff that he has to say, but when he goes out and he goes, not pretty.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, hey man, leave her alone, dude.
What about this? What about this? What about when there's a fight that's happening?
Yeah.
And then like another fighter that's watching that fight, they go snooze fest.
And I'm like, damn, bro, that's Habib. I love Habib.
Subbotting.
Snooze. This dude sucks.
In this day and age with so much content everywhere, how could you get mad at anyone for judging anything?
Yeah.
Everything's up for judgment. That's
Everything's
if it
being
goes
judged.
out there, it's up for
You know
judgment.
what? I don't like the tweet. I would prefer a reaction video from Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson reacts.
No words, just facials.
Didn't he backtrack and say some shit like, "Oh, that was just a social experiment, bro. Why are you mad?"
I don't know, but he definitely is taking a break from Twitter because of the backlash of this.
Damn. I mean, you call somebody ugly, like that's kind of mean. You know?
And it's like her first. It's her first fucking magazine.
Something to be proud of, yeah.
Right, it's like
such an
there's so many
accomplishment.
good, positive things.
You're
about it,
shitting on her parade.
Yeah, you're just gonna go, not my thing, not beautiful. It's like, dude, come on.
He doesn't like China thick, man.
You don't like China thick, dude.
What if this whole time he wasn't even talking about her weight? He was just talking about Asian girls, and then he's all like,
Chinese don't like.
Never scrolled down, so he's like, wait, she's big? I just said she's Asian.
I saw her.
I saw those eyes and I was like, ugh.
fucking Chinese girl on Sports Illustrated.
He had Elon Musk when he's like, should I buy Sports Illustrated so she never has to be on the cover again?